But it's Underground Table. Shout them out.
I'm proud of you, you know that. I hope you do.
The dream got broken, seemed like all was lost. What would be the future? Could you pay the cost? You wonder, will there ever be a second time around?
UPC. This show is a member of the Underground Podcast community.
Step by step, day by day, fresh start over, a different hand to play. Deeper we fall, the stronger we stay. Make it better, second time around.
Hello everybody, welcome to a new exciting episode of the Underground Table with your hosts, Blade and Jeremy. Jeremy, how are you doing tonight?
We're doing great. This is episode 3 of season 4 of the UGT, and we're doing great. What is this? This is March, and Blade,
Yeah,
we have a special thing to announce for this episode.
we do.
We do. We're making UGT history. We have guests on the show that are not our friends. Can you believe it? I mean,
Those are our friends now.
they're our friends now, but they weren't our friends prior to the podcast. So this is a landmark. Who are our guests? Who are we talking to today?
Our guests are the band Hot Stepmom from...
They're from Tacoma, buddy. They're from my city. They stomp around the same neighborhoods that I stomp around. When I'm
Nice.
stomping around neighborhoods, which is not often.
Yeah, they're the first non-nepotism band, or guests to appear on UGT.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Brother, this is going to be so much fun. But we can't get to that yet because obviously Black Sabbath t-shirt, gray thermal undershirt, black Dickies shorts, white Kirkland socks, Old Navy boxers, and some really sick black Vans that are high skate with glow-in-the-dark green skulls on them. What you got?
Ooh. Off Yellow, One Cut of the Dead bootleg shirt from a bootleg company. One Cut of the Dead's a great movie. You should go watch it. Sav's Blood Vial necklace. Sweat shorts from Target. And then I got some slipper socks that are falling apart at the seams, and I just almost fell over showing you.
And you weren't even standing on the chair, which I'm glad you weren't because you worried me to death. But look,
Yeah.
You almost fell over anyways.
Yep.
Coordination, my friend. Coordination.
Well, I tried to lift my leg higher than it goes, so
That's
that
true.
was the problem. The extra
true.
momentum pushed me
Mhm.
over.
Yeah. So what have you been up to since last time? When was the last time we talked in February? We talked about some music in February. We enjoyed said music in February. It was a lot of fun. What have we been up to since?
Dude, I haven't been up to much. I mean, I finalized the dates for my trips out, for the rest of the year. Got a moving date settled, got all that, done deal when I'm moving, when I'm going where, and for what I'm doing for the rest of the year. But that's about it. That's all I got.
Oh.
Nothing exciting, but just been playing a lot of video games and hanging out. I go to work and I go home. Well, they're the same place,
You wake up, work, and then you not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got the CRT TV behind me. I finally got an HDMI to AV converter, so I'm just like watching modern things because I have a Fire Stick hooked up to it. So I'm just watching modern stuff on the CRT, and that's
You are
the most exciting thing.
purposefully downgrading your visual experience.
Yeah, but I'm usually just watching older content anyways.
That's fair. Yeah. So, same old stuff with me. Working, dadding. This has been a really bad headache week for me. Migraines. That sucks. But we're on the up and up here. We're doing good. We're here, baby. We have an exclusive interview with a very awesome band, a band that I introduced you to. I was introduced by my son. I saw their name on flyers and on Instagram and stuff. from the local music scene. I mentioned it to my son, and he was like, "Yeah, I love that band." I'm like, "All right, cool." We went and saw them, picked up their CDs, and been a fan ever since. We've talked about them on the show. We talked about their song Hive last week. They've got new music coming, big things coming on the horizon. I mean, should we just keep, dancing around it, or should we just get on with the interview? What do you think?
We should just get on with the interview.
Okay. Absolutely. Perfect. Let's just do it. Hot Stepmom, come on in.
Come on in.
Okay, we are back, and we have special guests. A guest band that is here, Hot Stepmom, the band, on the underground table. Blade, how you feeling about that?
Good. It sounded like you were being held at gunpoint to read that.
You know,
Welcome back to a new episode.
I was. You couldn't see it, but welcome back. There's a gun to my head, and we're interviewing a band. Band, introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm Anna. I sing and I play guitar in the band.
I'm Benjamin. I drum and sometimes try and make songs.
Okay.
I'm Jaren. I'm the bass player, but I do what he does, but I do it cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with a bass, not drums.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And missing is Cameron, who plays lead guitar.
Yes.
We would just assume and make up answers for him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll answer like Cameron.
We can
What would
guess.
Cameron say?
Yeah.
What would I say? I was really tall.
And vegetarian.
I feel like I know him already. He's here with us. This is great.
Okay, so I don't want to like roll up most of your Friday nights, so I'm just gonna jump right into it.
All right.
What is the origin story of your band? How did you come together? Did you know each other prior? Were you in previous projects together? What's this deal there?
So that's kind of like a complicated answer a little bit because the original lineup of the band, it was put together in Live It Out Loud, which if you don't know is it's a program that takes place over summer, over 8 weeks. And basically you get placed into a band based on your music tastes and your instruments and your experience. And so the original lineup met there, but Jaren and Ben and I had been in a band together previously, and we were all like kind of friends. And then Cameron was previously in a band with Ben also.
Mhm.
So we're all kind of connected in that way. And then the band lineup kind of just became this over
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't the original drummer, so they had
yeah.
they had an original drummer for what was it, like 6 months?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like 6 months. And then I joined in January 2 years ago. So
Okay, and it's kind of like not on the questionnaire thing, but like, do you know the musical groups that got you matched together through the program?
like influence?
Yeah, no, because it said you matched up through musical taste, right? Through Live It Out
yeah.
Loud.
Oh.
Oh yeah, so I think Jaren and I originally, like, his music taste has changed significantly more than mine has, but I think some of the ones that like overlapped us were like Arctic Monkeys and
Oh yeah, at the time.
who
Yeah.
else?
That's the only one I can think of.
That's the only one I can
Arctic
think of right
Monkeys.
now,
I don't
too.
listen to any of those bands anymore, so I don't even remember.
Yeah, and then I think that like the other band that the three of us were in the year prior to Hot Stepmom, we were put together because of our experience, and then Jaren and I had just specifically requested to be in bands together. So
Yeah.
That is true.
Were you guys band geeks in school or in some kind of music program in school?
I was.
I was a
I
choir
was, too.
I
kid.
knew it.
I
Okay,
was.
that I totally picked that for both of you guys, honestly. At what age did you guys each pick up your current instruments?
I was 7, I think.
Probably, I think I was probably about 13, 12 or 13.
I was also like 12 or 13 when I started playing guitar, but I've been singing for forever, and I started doing choir when I was like 11.
Now, Ben, you played drums in band in school?
Yeah, when I was so I started band when I was in like 5th grade.
Mhm.
But I started drums before that. But I did band in 5th grade, and like I did percussion and the usual.
Right. So you marched in parades, did the drum line, all that stuff.
Yeah, I did that. I did that up until high school, and then I was in drumline. And drumline, it was really fun. It was a really nice experience. Yeah.
So the Live It Out Loud program, what was your experience like? As somebody who has no idea what that is, especially because I'm like on the other side of the United States. So it's a program that places you in a band together, from what I gathered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what is it open to like many ages, or is it open to just like in
It's
school
teens,
currently?
I think. It's like a school of rock program. They have those in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
It's 12 to 18.
It's held by or ran by Ted Brown Music, which is a music company here, music store here.
Big shout out to Ted Brown.
Yeah, and so basically you just basically sign up, right? And it's just they put
in the audition, but
yeah, you basically like send like an audition clip and sign up, and they'll put you in a band, like you like put like your musical interests, like, or if there's anyone you want to be in a band with that you know already is like in that program. And so basically, yeah, they just put you in a band. It can be like 3 people to 6 or 7 people. Like there was some pretty big bands, like especially like when people like had like horn sections, like trumpet players. It was like 7-piece bands. It was crazy. But yeah, and they just, it's your like type of music that you listen to and play, and then they just make it for you, and you spend the summer just playing shows, and then at the end you're able to go to a studio and record there, and then they'll release a compilation album of all the bands that were there that summer.
Okay, so follow up on that. Did you record at the end?
Yeah.
What did you record? Did you release it publicly on your own streaming?
For like Hot Stepmom?
For like the Live It
Yeah.
Out Loud at the end?
Yeah, so us together, the 3 of us, we were in a band called Mother Superior. And we had like a double track. It was called Ugly Brain / Milkman, and it is like on Spotify and all the
Apple
streaming
Music,
stuff,
yeah.
because the Live It Out Loud used to release them on all the streaming platforms, but now they put them on Bandcamp because it's easier to let the kids have control over their music. And then Hot Stepmom, also, we recorded Old Trash at the end of our summer, and that's on our Spotify page as well.
I was also going to ask, so you retain the rights to the song that you record there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and might I add that Old Trash is probably my favorite song from you guys, honestly.
Nice.
It's a toss-up. I have big feels for that one.
Very good song.
That song was originally written in like October 2020, before Hot Stepmom was even a thought. And I do have a version that I did send to Jeremy on my SoundCloud that's just me.
Mhm.
We've thought about like reworking that song a few times, like to like for live performances, or to like re-release it. But we just haven't gotten very far yet because we're trying to focus on new things.
Makes sense. Wait until you're a legacy band before you start going back and re-recording older songs. You guys were kids when you started in the you guys were minors, still in school when you started in the program. How were your parents about all this, and how are they currently now? Are they supportive of the band? Do they come to your shows? Do they help you out?
My mom has always been super musical. Like, we're Filipino, so it's like a big stereotype to like have karaoke at like every party, go to other people's parties, do karaoke, be singing all the time. And so like I just grew up around a lot of singing and music. And then my dad just thinks I'm like so awesome. And so he's always been like super supportive.
As a dad should.
Yeah.
Of course.
Both of my parents like were very willing to like send me to guitar lessons when I was younger, and like I didn't even find out about Live It Out Loud until my dad came home one day and handed me a pamphlet and was like, "Do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." And so they've supported me a lot in that way, and like getting me like opportunities and like finding ways to help me with the stuff I want to do. And they're at every show that they can be at. Like my dad still records all the songs that we play, even though he has multiple videos of the same song. But yeah, both of my parents are super supportive, and they've always been.
That's really cool.
Yeah, my parents are very supportive too. Like when we found out about Live It Out Loud, I found out through a friend, and then my friend talked to my mom about it, and my mom thought it would be a good idea. So we did it, and they are like my number one supporters. Like my dad still like sometimes like after a show he'll come in the green room and help me pack my drums up, and like it's nice. And then my mom's always there, tries to be there most of the time. But yeah, like there's I don't think there's ever been a show that my parents have missed. I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think
Wow.
so. Yeah. And they still support me. They're my number one supporters.
Wow.
That is so cool.
Have your parents really gone to like every show?
My dad, at least. Like, if my dad hasn't been there, then my mom's probably been there.
Oh, mine don't. Not anymore. Oh, my mom hasn't showed up for a while. But
You guys live across the bridge too.
Yeah.
well, yeah. I started the program because my brother had done it. I don't remember how he found out about it, but he did it, and so my mom was like, you know, you should do this because, you know, your brother's doing it too. And so they put me into that, and then that's how I really started liking to do all the performance stuff. But yeah, they still always asking me questions. You know, what is the band doing? What are you guys writing? Usually going to as many shows as possible, but yeah, they definitely care a lot about what we're doing a lot of the time.
Good. That's always good to hear. And on the front, Anna, your mom, her videos come up on YouTube when you look for live videos for your band. She's live
Yeah.
streamed a bunch of your like performances.
I've watched
those
one
are
or two
there.
of them. Yeah.
You've got like the I think it's the art room or art gallery. Sorry, I'm not local again.
Real
You've
art.
got that performance, a real
Mhm.
art. And then like 3 or 4 videos down, it's just your mom's live streams all in a row.
Yeah. And that question comes because the 2 times I've been to Real Art to watch shows, one was your show and then one was Static, Morning Glory, a few other bands. I've seen a lot of parents running up and, talking to and hugging their kids after they come off stage. And it's the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. And I just love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
I love that about the Tacoma area because there's
Yeah.
so many younger bands here, and like you always see like the parents, and it's like, oh my gosh, they are being so supportive. I love that.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Live It Out Loud is based in Tacoma, so a lot
Yeah.
of like those like small like local like young bands are coming from Tacoma, and that's why I love the scene so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was really surprised to see just how big this scene was when I first tapped into it.
Mm-hmm.
So for this EP, Hive is an older song. Why did you decide to record it for this one? And did you change anything when you brought the song into these sessions?
No, we didn't change anything.
I think we left it. Yeah, I think we left it
Yeah,
the same.
it's been the same.
Yeah, Hive has been pretty much the same since I wrote it. I mean, like we've changed like a couple of structural things obviously to fit the band more because
Yeah,
I originally wrote it for a side band.
yeah, we had a side band and we played it for like a day.
Yeah. It was like a trio, and like we would all like switch instruments and like. But yeah, I originally wrote it for that, but that's the song that was based on Sylvia Plath, and I was like, man, this song is too good to be a side thing, so I decided to bring it to Hot Stepmom. And another thing about it is I was worried that the band wouldn't like it because it wasn't like typical of what I had brought to them previously. But I think that was a good thing because I think we're liking the direction that we're moving into. And I think that when I brought it to them, like we kind of had started conceptualizing a project with Hive in it.
Well, I think the full band arrangement definitely fits with the overall aesthetic that you guys have established so far while still moving forward, progressing. Now, speaking of older songs, Anna, you have demos. I've heard them. Blade, I think you've heard them.
I didn't know if I was allowed to, so I listened to one and was like, I'm going to call it quits. I'm just going to listen to the one demo.
I mean, they're out there. Will any of those show up on the EP or other future projects?
Are you talking about like the stuff on my SoundCloud?
Yes.
We've talked...
I'm not trying to dox your SoundCloud, but I mean, it's out there. It is public.
No, you're fine. I do link it on my Instagram occasionally, but we've talked about bringing Bailey into the band, but I think that's really the only one that we've talked about. I don't think I've shown them a lot of the stuff that's on my SoundCloud because most of it is kind of just stuff that I'm writing, like either for fun or like just because I'm like really feeling something in a moment, and I'm like, I need to make this and put it somewhere.
It is really, really kind of all over the place, but Bailey is a really good song and you guys should do that.
And so we're down a member. That's, for the record, we're down a member. So I want somebody to pretend and be Cameron really quick.
I spend the most.
Who's Cameron's favorite guitar player and who inspires him to play?
So his his favorite artists that we've talked about recently are the Breeders and Pixies. He said that he likes the Breeders a lot, but they don't have enough music out, so he listens to Pixies like all the time. He does also listen to like My Chemical Romance and like some other like he's always making jokes about like Midwest emo. So
that's your guy right there.
Yeah, it's a win for me, man. I wish he was here.
Me too.
We always wish he was.
We always tell him to quit his job.
Well, maybe someday, right?
Oh,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Jaron, directed at you. Who is your favorite bass player, and do you study specific players or styles?
You're looking at me like the answer is so easy because I'm gonna say Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's not what I thought, but
That's
Where
what
did
I
you
thought.
think? Oh,
That's
oh,
what
I
yeah.
thought you were going to talk about how you study jazz a lot.
Oh, yeah. So like when I was learning and when I was starting out, it was like it was pretty much just like Flea all the time. I had like a really short Queen phase, and I was listening to like John Deacon. But
Nice.
so that was like the early stuff. But as we've kind of progressed in music taste, and kind of like Anna said, how my music taste just changed a lot. I'm really into like a lot of jazz, a lot of like avant-garde, like a lot of traditional bass players like Ron Carter, or like really old guys, but then also like fusion and like newer jazz like Thundercats. Like that's like the dream goal, is to get to that kind of level, and I love that style. But like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Easy answer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, it's your turn, man. Who's your favorite drummer?
Based off like influence, I would probably say Neil Peart from Rush. He was always like I'm a huge Rush fan. Like I live and die for Rush. Like I love Rush.
Thank
Like,
you. Thank you.
best band 80s, 2000s, 2010s is Rush.
I took a sick day on Tuesday. I had a migraine, and I listened to the first 11 Rush albums while I was reading Geddy Lee's book. That was my sick day.
What's your favorite album?
This is a generic answer, but honestly, Moving Pictures is my favorite. But
Yeah.
I really like both sides of that spectrum too. I like Signals a lot, and I also like Permanent Waves a lot.
Mhm.
But for some reason, they're like late 80s, early 90s stuff, like
Oh, yeah.
Roll the Bones. It's
I love Roll the
it's
Bones.
so weird, but I really like that. It's like
really
really 80s, like really 80s. The production is, you know, how it has that really snappy reverb on the drums, and it's
Yep.
really keyboard heavy, but I like it.
I also like their 90s stuff, like Counterparts too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, going back to the question, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, quick derailment here.
But for like who I usually play the most of, like if I'm playing to a song or something like that, or like what I'm like taking feels from, or like getting influence from like beats wise, is probably Ben Thatcher from Royal Blood. I'm a big fan of him, and I've seen them live a couple times, and I just am obsessed with like my whole like drum set is based off his drums almost. Like I'm just a really big fan of him, and I just love like just his beat making techniques, you know. But yeah, it's either Neil Peart or Ben Thatcher, I'd say.
Okay. Side question: how many sticks do you break on an average set?
At least like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know when I saw you, you were playing very hard, and I saw you throw several sticks away. I had to dodge 1 or 2 of them.
That's so true, though.
It is. Anna, question for you. What determines if you play guitar on a song or not? Because sometimes you're just singing, and sometimes you're playing guitar and singing. So what determines that? Is it based on the actual playing of the song, what the need of the song is, or does it have to do with the vocals, or is it just a performance thing?
It mostly has to do with the writing. So because we have 2 guitarists, like I kind of feel weird about like forcing Cameron to play stuff that I wrote. And he has expressed recently like he doesn't particularly enjoy playing other people's guitar parts all of the time. So if I wrote the song on my own with a specific guitar part, I'll play it. Or if Ben, he sometimes writes guitar parts and we'll write songs together, I'll learn the guitar part that he wrote, and then Cameron can make his own like lead or like complementary parts for it. But we've been trying to make it so that I don't have to play guitar as often, and so that Cameron can have more creative freedom with his parts.
And then for you, who's your favorite vocalist and who inspires you as well?
So songwriting wise, Mitski is a really big one. I relate to her a lot because we're both half Asian. And her vocal range like suits mine a lot, and like her discography is very like diverse. So if I want to like learn how to sing something, like I'll just pick one of her older songs and be like, I'm gonna learn how to sing this down to the 16th note. So she's one of my bigger influences. And then another one is Biba Doobie. Again, relatable because we're both Filipino girls who play guitar. But I used to have like a very like alto-y sounding voice, but I have been trying to like kind of play around with my vocal tones, and Biba Doobie is kind of where I started doing that, because her voice is like almost the opposite of mine, where it's like super like soft and like trebly, and like it's just like very pleasant. And so for a while I was trying to like emulate her, but I think I'm coming back to the point where I can like use my own voice with the influences rather than just emulating the influences. But yeah, and then another one right now is also Jasmine Rogers.
Jasmine Rogers.
Jasmine
Rogers. Jasmine Rogers.
From the band Boa. I really like her vocal style and her lyricism. Like she kind of reminds me of me. So yeah, I like
Again, half Asian.
Yeah, again half Asian. I like when I can relate to a writer. Oh, and Scott Whalen's another one.
Again, half Asian.
Wait, is that true?
No.
Yeah, Scott Whalen's writing style is very similar to mine. Like a lot of the lyrics that Stone Temple Pilots has, especially on the album Purple, and then like the song Creep, I'm like, I would totally write that. So yeah.
I love that you guys are all really nerds about music. It's really good. Jaren, tell me about the bass solo on Snap, because it is sick.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about it.
It's awesome.
That was already a couple years ago. I was only like 16, 17 when I was messing with it. I really just like I don't remember what I was thinking. I was like, because it was like the second or third song we wrote, and there was like this section. It was like, we could put a bass solo right here, and it would be really cool. But I just like I vaguely remember just kind of sitting in my room very late hours of the night and just playing with like the chords and just kind of trying to figure out what would sound cool. And I think I remember this one post that I saw, or this video. It was a video of Flea. And he was
circling back.
Yeah, of course. But he was doing a jam solo. It was during like their Mother's Milk tour, so this was like the late 80s or like early 90s, and he was doing this solo in between songs where he was just going at it, like this super fast like thumb hits and these really fast mute notes, and I was like, this is like so cool. I want to make that. Yeah. I guess that's where it came from, probably.
Well, kudos, because you did the damn thing.
Thank you.
So the song Static has some really interesting lyrics on it, and the riff sounds almost like a keyboard. How did you get the tone for that? Do any of you have that one?
Just a phaser, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there is a phaser over, I think it's my guitar. No. There's a phaser on Cameron's guitar, and then mine is like panning back and forth.
Yours is phasing in and out, and then Cameron's is the clean one, right?
Yeah, but his has a phaser on it though.
I thought yours had a phaser on it.
No.
The distorted.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a phaser somewhere. Okay.
What about the lyrics were you wondering about?
Just what really inspired that song itself, unless you don't want to talk about it?
No, that's fine. So I think this was actually also in like the poetry unit during literature. Not Sylvia Plath, but it was during like the same time period. I was walking my dog outside at night. And I get very paranoid, obviously, just like walking outside at night by myself. But also the neighborhood I live in doesn't really have sidewalks.
Which ones do?
I know, right? But yeah, like I remember just like getting so anxious on these walks because I think my dad was like sick or had COVID or something, so I was the one walking the dog at night. and it had been snowing, so obviously he wasn't gonna go outside. But yeah, I'd get so anxious and be like, oh my god, what if someone shot me right now? Or like what if somebody like came up behind me and just like grabbed me, and then like I couldn't do anything about it? Or like just the typical like I'm alone by myself at night thoughts. And so like sounds really make me anxious also. And so honestly, the entire song is just based around like the sounds that I would hear at night walking my dog.
Yeah, that is a really good answer, actually.
Yeah, really good answer.
Oh, cool.
Moving to a different song on the album, Siamese Twins. Is that a sample at the beginning of that?
Yes, it is.
Where does that come from?
I say, you look like a loud crowd. Ready to see a spectacular, I say spectacular show. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring out the fire here. The snake girl and the Siamese twin for double fun.
Sophia actually had gotten that sample from when she went to the state fair, and she sent it and was like, we should put this at the beginning of Siamese Twins. And we were like, okay. And so the guy who mastered...
Was that an actual field recording?
Yeah. It was like an Amazon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so the guy that mastered it was able to like denoise it a lot and bring out like the actual like speech and put it at the beginning of the song.
I love that.
That's cool.
I love that sample.
Yeah, it's it's really cool. If you don't mind, talk to us about Sophia for context. We haven't been brought up to speed.
Sophia was in the band during Live It Out Loud. And so so we were kind of like dual fronting, and like we were kind of learning how to like interact with each other and like trying to like, you know, split up the vocals fairly evenly and like have good chemistry on stage. Yeah, she was in the band until like this past summer, right?
Was it that
June? It was June 15th, 2022.
Three.
Yeah,
it was the year we graduated.
Three, yeah.
Yeah.
3.
So our last show with her was on June 15th, 2023. Yeah, I mean, like, nothing, like, bad happened. Like,
Yeah.
like, she's in the Rat Utopia experiment, and they're really good. And so she wanted to focus on that. Yeah, and we're still here.
Good. And who's doing the screaming in Siamese Twins?
The screaming?
Yeah, there is screaming in Siamese Twins. There is
some
harsh
screamy
vocals.
parts. Yeah, there's some screamy stuff.
I think it's me. At the end?
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
end?
you.
I will cut off my hands. Yeah, it is me. Cause yeah, it's me.
And then with the release of that on streaming, so you know how you can see lyrics on streaming, is Siamese Twins missing lyrics deliberate or just an accident?
So yeah, it's an accident. Because all of the songs on the album were supposed to have lyrics, but for some reason the lyrics for Siamese Twins kept getting rejected, and I don't know if it's because the way I was like formatting the stuff that's happening at the same time was wrong, or if it's just like too much repetition of "I will cut off your hands, I will cut off your hands." But yeah, I don't know what exactly is getting those lyrics rejected.
Okay, so I was looking when I was like preparing for this, I was like, man, what is this part right here? And then I hit the lyrics and there's nothing, and I was like, is that deliberate? Like, is that on purpose? It's like the only thing missing. There's no lyrics. I mean, there's like, is it deliberate? There was none, because it's the only thing missing. Oh. So I wondered if it was intentional or not.
It's probably an accident.
It was. I think it was an accident. Well, they're not on Spotify either, so.
All right, tell me about the cat you're holding also.
Oh, yeah. So his name is Frank Zappa.
Oh, awesome.
I love Frank Zappa, one of my favorite guitarists, actually. He didn't like you. And yeah, I got him. When did I get him? Like June last year?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. No, July last year, actually. I got him when he was 4 months old. He's almost a fully grown adult. And he has a little sister named Sabrina. And I got her in November.
They grow up so fast.
I know.
They do.
He's wearing a bow tie. It's awesome.
Hey, he's just climbing around over there.
He's gonna jump.
Oh, he did it.
Oh, there he goes.
And then one thing that stands out to us about your music is how theatrical many of the songs are, changes in musical themes, the structure and tempo in songs like Snap and Greasy in particular. Where does that come from? Is that written with purposeful intent?
Yeah. So, okay, kind of to come back to Sophia and I in the band together, a lot of the songs were written with the purpose of us being able to perform together in an effective and memorable way. Snap, I actually wrote while she was taking a break from the band before, after Live It Out Loud ended. She had left for a little bit. And I wrote Snap like with the possibility in mind that she was going to come back. And so she did. And so that is why that song works out so well, like theatrically. And then Greasy. What specifically about Greasy were you wondering?
There's just a lot of like tempo changes and dynamics and just kind of overall shifts in the feel of the song.
Like that
Rivers Cuomo has different parts that are like that too.
Oh,
like how Greasy has like that 3/4 part and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
The meter changes.
yeah. Well, that
It wasn't on purpose.
No, I remember being at rehearsal and being like, dude, what if we had like the Pirates of the Caribbean rhythm? Like the
Yeah.
That's where that comes from? I didn't even know
that.
So that's what that is for Gracie. It's just like we were like, oh, this would sound cool. And then for what was the other one you said?
Rivers Cuomo.
Oh, Rivers Cuomo. I could talk about Rivers Cuomo.
Talk about it.
So Rivers Cuomo was originally like a ska punk song.
Oh, yeah.
it was pretty bad. So like the first verse that you hear, that was the first verse, and then like the third section of that song, those were in the original version of the song, except the first verse had like the reggae strumming pattern, like the offbeat upstroke.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I'm not as insecure. And so there were two verses that were like that, but we didn't like the way it sounded. Like it just wasn't coming together. So we were gonna scrap the song altogether. But then Cameron came up with that like middle section, like that guitar part, the and then I was listening to the band Hole. I think their song Credit in the Straight World. It starts out with like just synths, and then Courtney Love being like, and I will await your highness, and then like that part fades out, and then a guitar comes in over that, and then it clicked in my brain. I was like, first verse Rivers Cuomo, there's like feedback and like ambient sound in the background, and then Cameron comes in with that bam bam bam, and then we go into the chorus, and then we end it in that chorus. And so that's how Rivers Cuomo came to be. I really like that song.
Yeah, me too. It really was just like different sections of things that you pulled together.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That song took a while.
It took a long
long ass time.
Yeah.
That's like the longest it's taken us, I think.
Really?
No.
I mean,
Actually,
because it was a ska song for so long.
Yeah. I guess so.
One of, if not the longest one of.
I guess that's fair.
Oh, I thought you were going to say one of the ska songs.
Yeah, I was like, is there more ska songs? Are we going to be
Because honestly, I kind of want to hear that.
No thanks.
I'm not saying you need to do it, but I'm saying if you did, I'd like to hear it. I'd like to know what that sounds like. So what do you think the future holds for you guys? How far are you hoping to take this? Are you thinking tours, more albums, videos? What's the game plan?
We all have a different answer to this.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have different answers to
I
this.
feel
Who
like
wants to go first?
I feel like one of the main goals is an album in like the future, maybe like a year or two. But another goal of ours is to tour the West Coast. That's another goal of ours. Like we've been talking about that for a long time. Is like wanting to do a tour down the coast, like going from like Olympia to Portland and then ending in like LA or something like that.
Where's the furthest you've played from Tacoma so far?
Chehalis.
Yeah.
It's a strange town to be playing music in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think so much about like the aspect of touring, but it's more so like what kind of music, like the kind of music that I want to make personally. And like I've been very jazz inspired lately, and so I'm on like a strange kind of jazz train, if you will. But yeah, I mean, same thing, touring and like all the other stuff. It's mostly like just kind of like ideas for like the style and how we'll evolve later on, more or less.
Yeah. For me, I really ideally would like to be able to be in the band for a very long time and go on multiple tours and release a good handful of albums. We're all in college right now, but I'm kind of just there for funsies. Like, I kind of want to focus on like the band. Yeah, like touring the West Coast to me is like a start. Like, I eventually want to tour in like other countries or like other continents. The being in the band and being able to sustain it is like a dream for me. And I think that we could definitely do it. And I think that we have like the willpower to. And we've definitely been trying to work harder and harder lately to make it more realistic.
Those are all really good goals. And like you said, the first West Coast tour is a good stepping stone to get into bigger tours.
Yeah.
Now, is there going to be a physical release for the new EP? Nothing to
Yes.
Nowhere? Okay. And then are you going to get an online store for that? Are you going to sell it or just at shows?
We've been talking about a store for a long time, but I feel like none of us like want to set it up. Currently, we are only selling stuff at shows. I would like to be able to set up an online store though, because we've had people ask us before, like, "Are you willing to ship?" And like in theory, yes, I would love to ship stuff to people, but also I don't want to go to the post office. So
Yeah.
All right. So if you don't want to go to the post office, that's pretty much your biggest enemy right now against an online store. That's about it's the hardest part is going to the post office. I'm passing you our next question because I don't know what it means.
Okay. Anna the Juggalo, is that a thing?
LOL.
Oh my god.
Not currently, but during COVID, it definitely was.
Why do I not? I don't know
A
that.
lot of people did crazy things during COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I really like Insane Clown Posse. And so like 2020 and 2021, like I was like doing face paint a lot. I was also doing like stage makeup like more often back then. And so like it was just kind of fun for me, but I got tired of like washing off the makeup. So I don't do it anymore because that part takes way too long.
Yeah, that's no fun.
But yeah, it's fun. I still have like, oh wait, no, I don't. Never mind. I was gonna say I still have one of the posts up, but I actually don't. But yeah, it was fun. I used to go out in public too. My dad thought it was super fun that I did that. So
what is it about Insane Clown Posse that you liked or used to like?
I just think they're fun. I like them. I don't know. Like there's nothing like particular. I mean, like some of their songs I don't love because like some of the themes in the music, like I know it's like intentional, but like I just don't want to listen to certain like descriptions of things that they talk about in their songs. But a lot of their popular songs I think are so fun, and I still listen to some of them. And like I know like In My Room got really popular on TikTok like a couple years ago, and I love that song still. And yeah, My Axe is like one of my favorite songs that comes on shuffle. And then me and my friend actually we were working on like a joke album, and our joke band name was Blooming Butts, and one of our songs was called Ghost Doctor, and it's literally like a 30-second rap, and like we got like inspiration from ICP because I was like, it'd be really funny if we did this. But there's a part we say Frackalackazingus. And there's also a part where we go, I killed him. So yeah, I don't know. I like them for fun. It's nothing like nerdy.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Okay,
we
so that
started as
part's
the
fun
Juggalo
then.
podcast, just to let you know it is a safe
Yeah.
place for that.
Full disclosure, this is actually from like a phoenix coming up from a Juggalo podcast.
Yeah.
We are still actively kind of in the scene. So
Yep.
That's fun.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever. So who is an artist or producer that you would love to collaborate with if given the chance?
There's so many.
Dude.
There's so many.
Me, if anyone
You?
could myself. No. If I
I got good news for you.
Oh, for me, probably like, let me see. This is a really basic answer, but Rick Rubin or like,
of course.
yeah,
Of course.
or like Danny Elfman would be a big one for me. Danny Elfman, I love Danny Elfman. Yeah, Rick Rubin or Danny Elfman, probably. Ooh,
You picking between the two now?
yeah,
I would say Rick Rubin personally.
Rick Rubin.
I don't know who either of these people are.
Okay.
Rick Rubin, System of a Down, Slayer.
I'm a Danny Elfman.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, Rick Rubin,
Beastie
probably.
Boys.
Rick
Jay-Z.
Rubin.
Johnny Cash, Beastie Boys. Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
System
right.
Down.
My manager at my job really wants to collab with it. He makes really good music.
I was thinking of saying Sid.
Yeah, his artist name is Ced Bash, like CED Bash. But we've talked about like having him do like a remix of Red as His Sins and having him add a verse in there or like replace a verse on there. I think that would be so cool.
He's so cool.
Red as His Sins. We haven't heard that song yet. That's on the EP.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Forget it.
we
It's not
we
out
do
yet.
play we do play it live.
So you do play it live. And so it's on the EP. That's good news.
If the four of you were stranded on a deserted island, what would you each hope to have brought with you?
A mirror.
A boat.
$1 million.
What?
Seems practical. Sure.
Maybe my Leatherman, because my I really love my Leatherman. I bring it everywhere if I can remember. It has spring-loaded pliers on it and a knife. Yeah, I don't know what Cameron would say.
What would Cameron say?
Oh,
Oh, sorry,
heard that from
I'm on
Cameron
the deserted island. I have to go to work.
yeah, he'd bring a shovel.
Unfortunately, yes. In any scenario on a deserted island, you still have to go to work.
A boat. Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
That's
yes.
funny.
Thank you.
Maybe my Nintendo Switch.
I think a mirror would be a very. I feel like it's a good option because like you can.
Why,
Like,
so you can
signal.
kiss yourself in the mirror?
No, because you can signal like with like the sun.
Signal to who?
Ships passing by.
Passing by. The ship is passing by. They're gonna. You just be like.
No, it's different.
Then why wouldn't you bring like a flare then?
Okay.
Flare at a ship.
Yeah, why a mirror?
Yeah, mirror is like. I think you just want
a
to.
flare, you only get one shot.
Okay, hold on. I'm on his side with the mirror. Actually, when he explained it, I was like, oh yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah, but it'll only work at a certain angle then.
I'm pretty sure no, because I had to do this test
You
one
could
time.
also use it to start fires, which could be very
yeah.
useful.
Oh.
But like I did this test one time. I was just like, oh, if you were on like a raft in the middle of the ocean, what would you have with you? And I said mirror. Mirror is like one of like the top answers by the Coast Guard. So
Okay, then
Yeah.
why don't you go to the
Okay,
Coast
Mr.
Guard
I looked it
then?
up on the Coast Guard. Like,
why don't you join the Coast Guard then?
We're going to have to verify that with one of our Coast Guard associates.
It's not on our planned like questionnaire, but I used to be on a different podcast that like talked about movies, and I think it's a fun closer for everybody. What is the worst movie you've ever seen in your life?
Oh,
the worst.
Like not even like an enjoyable bad movie, but like I'm not gonna watch it again. Bad movie.
probably like any of like the Marvel movies, like any of like the new Marvel movies. The new Marvel movies.
Hey, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was
Like
really good.
no, the last good Marvel.
Watch it,
the
buddy.
last good Marvel movie, in my opinion, though, was Winter Soldier. I think anything after that is really bad, and like those movies are terrible. I just don't like them.
You're breaking my heart.
I just have a good time watching a movie, even if it's bad. And also, I don't watch enough movies to like have a taste for movies. So every time I watch a movie, I'm like, yeah, that was fine.
Oh, one movie that's
I
really
hate
boring.
movies though. I don't like watching movies.
One
Sorry.
movie that's really boring is Taxi Driver. I tried to watch
I
it.
was gonna say that. I was gonna say
That movie sucks. That movie
Dude, it's
sucks.
so
dude.
boring.
It's so boring.
That movie is not worth all the hype.
It sucks,
it's too
dude.
long.
Same with Clockwork Orange. It just sucks. All the film bros like, oh, it's the best piece of cinema ever. Yeah.
Blade, are you getting triggered?
Yeah, I like that movie a lot. I loved it as a teenager. Yeah, I met Malcolm McDowell pre-COVID at this point, like 7 years ago. He was very nice.
My dad traumatized me with that movie at a very young age when I shouldn't have seen it, and I haven't been the same. It scarred me.
I don't blame it.
Well, I do. So that's basically all the questions we got for you guys. So your EP, Nothing to Nowhere, releasing March 19th. There will be physical releases. Are we talking CDs, vinyl, tape? What are we talking here?
CDs.
You have a release party concert at the Spanish Ballroom in Tacoma on March 23rd with special guests the Rat Utopia Experiment, who you mentioned, who are awesome, Stargazy Pie, who also are awesome, and Manic Pixie Dreamboat. Yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who are awesome.
Also awesome.
Also awesome. What would you guys like to plug? What would you guys like to say?
Well, we released a single today, Drive Safe. That's on the EP.
We did do that.
We played that?
No, I just forgot that we did that.
That was a few weeks ago. So yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When people are listening to this, yes.
Right. It's been out for a while. It's old news. Everybody's heard it. Everybody loves it. It's
everyone knows.
It has like 50K streams already.
Yeah, it has 50 million on Spotify. Like
we have 1 billion monthly.
Yeah.
You kind of got everything that we would have plugged. Our EP, our release show. Oh, our Instagram is at the band Hot Stepmom, and so is our TikTok. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Okay.
All right.
Bonus question, the plug, because I cannot let you go without asking. Where did the band name come from? Why is it Hot Stepmom? Why did I have to put in Hot Stepmom into YouTube search?
Which, by the way, not a fun experience.
Yeah.
Maybe it is for some people. I don't know.
So there's actually a funny backstory that I'm not sure, but I mean, this person has me blocked on everything. And I also have them blocked on everything. I hated their mom, and I was like, I wish that this person had a hot stepmom instead of their current bad mom. Because their mom would stalk me on Instagram and then tell them to tell me to delete stuff on my social media like she was my mom or something. And then she also called me unladylike and bad, basically. So yeah, I really did not like this person's mom.
Wished for a divorce and a remarriage, and named the band after it.
And then my dad was the one that was like, Hot Stepmom would be a funny band name. And I was like, I don't know, that's not very Googleable. And then I did it anyway.
No, it's not. But hey, it's not.
Band, all caps.
but people talk about it. They're like, oh, they're named Hot Stepmom? Okay.
Yeah. Like shitty cover band, like Hot Stepmom. What fucking name is that?
People actually, so because the band started when we were minors, we did have like 2 grown people complain about our band name, and like our band mentor at the time told us that they heard directly from someone that was like, oh, I can't support a band called this, like blah blah. Like
I forgot about that.
I don't know. It was like people were kind of weird about it in the beginning. But I think that we've like established enough of a presence that people are like, oh, Hot Stepmom, yeah. And like now when I tell people about it, they like giggle. They're like, oh my gosh, that's such a funny band name.
Hey, you've persevered and you've owned it.
Yeah,
we've thought about changing it, but it would be too late at this point.
Yeah, it's too late. The only thing you could do is start using the acronym.
Yep, we've thought about that too.
but it's the same acronym as High School Musical is the problem.
Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of stuck, but it's okay.
It's fine. It's a perfectly fine band name. We approve. UGT approve.
We do.
Yeah,
we approve. I got nothing to plug. I clock into work and clock out, and then it's a weekend, so I got nothing to plug.
All right. Our plug. My kid Joey, because he's actually the one that introduced me to you guys.
Oh, nice.
And according to him, he's your number 1 fan. I don't know what I think it's based on streaming numbers. I'm not sure, but
somebody's calling me
Oh, like actual like
Oh,
number
wow.
one. That's kind of cool.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's like it's something that you have to get certified, or maybe you have to arm wrestle the previous title holder. I'm not sure how that works, but anyways,
We'll make a little certificate for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like to buy a CD because I'm not going to Tacoma.
I've been trying so hard to get this guy over here. He's so stubborn.
It ain't happening.
He keeps whining. Oh, money, airlines. Oh,
Yeah, Washington is really expensive.
don't tell him that.
But if you think about it, we're expensive, but people have a higher wage here, so it balances out.
Yeah, that's the key right there. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a blast, and I can't wait to see your show at the Spanish Ballroom. I'll be there.
Awesome.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for having us.
When you're able to find people who like to play the kinds of things you like to play. That's one thing that helps to make friends, playing together.
This has been a Jiggle Down Productions production.
And cut.
I didn't hit stop yet, man.